the feast day of Saint Basil the Great. The following are some details on his life and works. Born in Caesarea, Asia Minor, in AD 330, Basil was reared by parents of unusual devotion. They imparted their love of God to their children with such success that each came to be canonized. These 6 branches of the family tree were bountifully blessed and brought forth much spiritual fruit. He was educated in such cultural centres of the empire as Constantinople and Athens. Under the guidance of his friend Gregory Nazianzos, the theologian, Basil became one of Christianity's most eloquent spokesmen, earning world renown for both his oratory and his writings. Although he could have had any high governmental position he wished, Saint Basil had no desire for high office. Instead, he was granted his wish to return to his native city, where he was ordained Bishop of Caesarea on the 14th of June 370 AD. A man of considerable talent, Basil applied himself to establishing and setting down the rules of monasticism. With this accomplished, he turned to the formalization of the divine liturgy, which bears his name. The liturgy of Saint Basil became the standard of Orthodox worship. In fact, the liturgy of Saint John Chrysostom, which is celebrated 42 Sundays of the year, is a modified version of it. The liturgy of Saint Basil is celebrated on more solemn church observances, including Christmas and the feast day of Saint Basil on January the 1st, as well as during the Sundays of the Lenten period. Saint Basil's liturgy is thus used a total of 10 times during the church year. An innovator as well as a creator and planner, Basil was the first to fulfill the desperate need for charitable institutions. He directed the creation and development of orphanages, hospitals and homes for the aged. His concept of mutual love and respect and his practical application of brotherly love later led to the formation of Christian philanthropic societies. Aside from St. Paul, and despite the fact equality in the sight of God does not necessarily mean equality in human recognition of dedication, St. Basil quite possibly ranks at the head of all the saints of the Greek Orthodox Church. Recognized as one of the 3 greatest hierarchs in Orthodox history, and so recognized on another day of the year known as the Feast Day of the 3 Hierarchs, he is unexcelled as a protagonist for the Greek Orthodox faith. Just as the flower which bears his name, Basil stands for beauty and love in Christianity that assure his lofty place in ecclesiastical history for all eternity. The Church celebrates the feast day of Saint Basil on January the 1st, the date on which he fell asleep in the Lord in AD 379. Since this date coincides with the first day of the new year, this holiday is especially meaningful for Orthodox Christians.